All right, so my first video is showing a posterior splint with a SAM splint. So first you're gonna go ahead and roll that up. You're gonna roll just a little bit so that way that their hand can kind of grip onto that. The rest of it is gonna go right around that elbow and a little bit up to make sure that it's nice and stable in there. You're gonna go ahead and kind of conform that to the hand. On the patient, you would be doing an opposite hand. For this example, it was just done on the regular hand because it wasn't anything to worry about. But make sure that fits nice and snug. Then you're going to start wrapping distally and then up proximally. So you're going to go through. When you're wrapping, you want to make sure that we are doing that herringbone, so going that up and down. And you'll go all the way up and through. A big thing with this is making sure that we're not wrapping too tightly and that we're able to still check distal pulse. So you'll be looking for that radial pulse down at the wrist. So you'll keep wrapping up and through. If for some reason you're not able to secure it with tape like I am, you can use hooks, or you can always fold the wrap into itself. But there you go. All right, the next one that I'm showing you is going to be our, this is going to help resist full extension. So you're going to go ahead and have 2 anchor strips. If the person has hair, you're going to go ahead and use, you're going to go ahead and use something under that. In this case, this patient does not have any hair, so we can go ahead and just put it straight onto the skin. So I have those 2 strips, and then you see me right there cutting this elastic, this heavyweight elastic. I like to go ahead and measure out and then go ahead and cut all 3 of my strips. And then with each strip, you're going to cut the ends of it so you can actually split it the way I did. So you'll see always starting distal to proximal, and you'll split and then go through. That first strip is going to go right down the middle, and then your other strips are going to go in a crossing pattern. So that way you can have all 3 strips. Also, I remembered that stuff that you would put under that if the patient did have hair is called pre-wrap. It slipped my mind for a moment, but yes, you would put pre-wrap under that if the patient did have hair. Big thing with this is you want to make sure that your strips are not too short, because we do want to make sure that they do cover. If they're too long, that's perfectly fine because you can always wrap them around. And then finally, you see me closing this up with more tape. And this is just a thin power flex. Again, with this, you're going to want to check distal pulse just to make sure, and then making sure that they can't go into that full extension. All right, next you see me doing a elbow wrap. So with this one, we're going to start middle forearm, distal to proximal, going all the way up through. When you're doing this, making sure that we're getting that cross pattern, so getting that herringbone going up and down, up and down. And then, like I mentioned before, if for some reason you aren't able to secure this with tape or with the clips, you can also just secure it to itself. And then just like with anything else, check distal TPNS, and you'll be good to go. All right, so with this one, this is going to be called our shoulder spica. So big thing with this, you're going to tell your patient that they are a little teapot. They'll have one hand on their hip and the other one kind of holding that spout or holding up like that. You're going to go under the shoulder twice, and then we're going to wrap around the patient. When we're wrapping around the patient, we want to make sure that we get up on that shoulder to cover that AC joint. And then you'll just follow the pattern. And for this person, I used a double roll, and then I was able to wrap around her and keep going under. And then to secure this, you can use tape or you can use the hooks. And with this, we want to make sure that we do cover that entire pattern. Okay, spicas are very useful for a multitude of things. This is a shoulder one, but we can also do it in other places like the hip, for instance. Yep. All right, so this one right here is more of like a posture one, just because we're focusing on just the back. So with this one, you're going to do similar to what we had with the shoulder spica, going under twice to kind of get like your support, and then rocking that wrap back and around. And again, double roll for this. And you're just going to keep going until you run out of roll. So just keep crossing, crossing, crossing. And then for this one right here, you could see that I kind of realized that I was not going to be able to go around my patient one more time with a double under. So I went through here. That way I could finish on the shoulder. It's better if we finish on the shoulder versus finishing on the back. That way they can take it off. And then I secured this with tape. If for some reason you can't secure it with tape, you can secure it with the hooks. And we're going to go ahead and follow that pattern at least once. You don't need to do it twice, but it needs to be done at least once to make sure the patient is secured. Also, make sure the patient is comfortable because this taping job may not be the most comfortable right away. All right, so this next one that we have here, this is going to be our sling. So we're going to start going with that shoulder twice, and then we're going to go around. So this is going to be our shoulder spica. We're going to do the shoulder spica twice, and then with this one, we're actually going to go under, and then we're going to go around. When we go around, we want to make sure that we're not going with the hand in. The hand needs to be out. And so you'll do 2 of each. 2 shoulder spicas, 2 around the shoulder, and then 2 around the hand, wrist area. And then we're going to go ahead and secure that in 2 ways. We're going to secure one way with around, and then one way up. And then again with this one, like I said, make sure that that hand is out. And there you go. Nice little shoulder sling for our patient.